Hi, and welcome to my channel. Uh, what I'm going to go ahead and show you today is some of the basic functionality of Microsoft Excel. So first off, we have a chart here of different data sets. So we can see, there's managers, and then they've sold different products to different clients, and then these are the prices, and then the product, it was a in construction sort of thing. So they had a start date, however many days it was projected for, how many days it actually took. So what we're going to do is, first off, I'm going to show you how to expand cells. Secondly, I'm going to go over how to format different cells. And then I'm going to show you some basic formulas and then how to apply formulas to different numbers or different dates, things like that. And then lastly, I'm going to show you how to apply formulas to multiple cells at one time. Okay, so first off, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to expand cells. So the reason you would ever want to expand cells is if you have this sort of thing right here where just number signs are showing, and if you click on one of these cells, you can see, so there is actually a number there. It's just too long to fit in this parameters for these cells. So rather than clicking on each cell to see what the number is, you can just go up to the top of the column and double click on the side where it says on the side of D. So as you can see, what that does is that automatically spaces it so that the numbers all fit into that cell. Great. So the second thing I'm going to go over is how to format cells. So this difference column right here, we're going to want this to be a currency because we're going to be finding the difference between column C and column D. So I'm going to go ahead and just highlight the whole column, and then I'm going to right click and go down to format cells. So now here I can set up different parameters for this whole section of the column. And as you can see, there's different categories. We're going to want that dollar symbol, and we're going to want commas to separate. So I'll go down to currency, and then here you can see that we can set up the decimal places, the symbol, and it'll automatically put the commas in. So for this formatting, I'm going to want 0 decimal places, and I think the symbol that I'm going to put is going to be a dollar sign. So once I have that all set, I go ahead and click OK, and now all these cells are formatted. Okay, so in order to get started with formulas, the first thing you need to know is how to tell Excel that you're going to use a formula. So the way to do that is to type the equals sign on the keyboard. So what that does, that tells Excel the thing that is going to follow in this cell is a formula. So in order to find out what the difference is between Mr. Smith's actual price and initial price, is you want to pretty much understand how to tell Excel to go from D2 to C2. So we're going to say D2 subtracted by C2, and then you hit enter. And what that number shows us is the difference between D2 and C2. Alright, so now we know that Jack, the manager, upsold Mr. Smith by $2,128. The next thing we want to figure out is what the estimated date for completion of this job was and what the actual date of completion was for this job. So once again, we're going to need to do a formula, and this time I'm going to show you a different way to do a formula. So just from when you click on the cell, and as usual, we want to format all these cells, so we're going to go ahead and just format them to the date, and we're going to want that format for the date. Alright, so we go ahead and click here, and then instead of typing in equals and then typing in the cell numbers, we're just going to go ahead and hit the function button on Excel. What this button allows you to do is it allows us to let the wizard on Microsoft Excel pretty much do all the work for us. Alright, so we're going to do this, and we're going to have to do a sum of the start date plus 5 days. So we'll go ahead and go down to sum. There's sum right there, and we'll just hit OK. So now it asks us, okay, so what's the first number and what's the second number. So the first number is that date, and the second number is the estimated days. Then we just hit OK, and look, it adds the 4th plus 5 is the 9th. And we're going to have to do the same thing over at this cell here, and we're going to go ahead and format all these cells first. And we'll go ahead and do the same format. And this is actually going to be the same formula. So once again, we'll just go over here, and then we'll go down to sum, and hit OK. And then we're going to show the start date. And then this time we're going to reference the actual days here. So that's something that you can do by accident. You always want to make sure that you click on the next number before you actually click on it in Excel. So there's that, and then we'll hit OK. And in this reference it ended up being the same, but as you can see here on Jones, the estimated days was 3, the actual days was 4. So things could be a little bit off. Alright, so now we've pretty much learned some basic formulas. Now we're going to see how to apply these formulas to multiple cells. Okay, so for example, on the difference, if we just click on the actual cell, you can see how there's a little plus sign that opens up if we go to the bottom right hand corner. So the reason there's that plus sign is because it's going to add the formula onto every other cell that we drag this to. So if I drag it all the way down, all of a sudden it does the difference between all these cells. And if you look right here, it goes D2 minus C2. But if we go down here, this is cell D10, so it'll go D10 minus C10, and all the way down. So that's how that works, and we're just going to go ahead and do the same thing for these ones right here. And as you can see, it does the same job. It moves all that formula to each cell respectively. So all in all, that's many of the basic features of Microsoft Excel. We've covered how to expand cells, we've covered formatting cells, some basic formulas, and also how to apply those formulas to multiple cells. Other than that, thank you for watching my video, and feel free to subscribe or let me know of other ideas that you have or questions that you have with different software programs, and I'd be happy to make a video. Have a nice day.